Energy levels are going to be a little bit lower. And that's always a manual thing.
It should be fine.
What, with YouTube chat?
I don't know. I've never done multi-streaming or anything like that.
I got
Seems like a lot to manage.
I just like it so it has my VODs on there on YouTube
Yeah.
instead of exporting it manually. But I know Twitch you can auto export.
Yeah,
but
I do that after stream.
I got you. Okay. Maybe to start, typically the first starting place, I guess, is giving a bit of a summary of how the week went from your point of view, and kind of just going from there. So obviously in messages you kind of told me you know, we're losing more than we're winning, but how are you feeling, I guess, about the week overall?
It's interesting because I hear an echo.
Yeah, I do too.
Echoing.
Let me. Was that from Discord?
I'm not sure. Hello? Where is this coming from?
It's not from the stream together.
Okay, let me just mute this page in case. But I still hear myself.
Yeah, I hear it twice too. Might be from share screen? No. It's not
Testing?
from the Discord.
I think it is. I think it is from sharing screen.
Is it? Let me stop sharing my screen.
Hello? Well, if I
No.
muted the screen, it went away.
No, it's
The
still
video
there.
is choppy.
Strange. Technical difficulties.
It happens.
It only started though right now, which was weird.
I think it was from sharing screen though.
Oh, so it's not happening for you anymore?
Yeah, I don't hear myself.
Oh, you might wait. I might be hearing a different mic from you then.
Oh, wait, you might be right. Sorry, I grabbed my water bottle.
Very good.
I don't know. I have my normal microphone.
On the Discord?
Yeah.
Strange. It sounds different. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a webcam mic maybe, but if it's not that, let me try rejoining. Okay. Is that any better? Let's see. Can you say something?
Testing.
No, it definitely sounds different. Let's see. I don't think it's. I don't know what to change, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Discord's being funky, I guess. Well, it's not too bad for me, and I guess as long as you record your audio, Peter will be able to stitch it together.
Yeah, we'll make it work. But
Yeah.
overall, I felt like this week was okay. I was trying to take more fights, and I was also losing a lot more fights, so that was a little frustrating. To also be losing a lot more games, to the point where, like, I feel like my next game, if I lose it, I'm going back down to Iron 3. But maybe that's okay. We talked about it a little bit, and you encouraged me by saying, well, at least I'll be like at my true level, going against people who are maybe taking fights the same way I am. So I'm not too stressed about it. The games themselves feel really interesting because I feel like I'm doing okay, but then I'll look at the scoreboard and it's like, oh, we're actually not doing too well. So maybe it's just me focusing on like what I'm working on in my drills, and I'm feeling like I'm doing better in those, and that's why I feel like it's fine. But yeah, have you noticed anything in the VODs or report?
Yeah. So I guess from my point of view, we're making progress. I guess the visual rank is a tough one, obviously, because if you're implementing anything new, typically your performance will dip. But in this case, we're intentionally causing our performance to dip because the way we were getting value before was off of utility. So by using util less and taking more gunfights, it's leaning into our weakness here. So it's kind of to be expected. But in terms of the actual weakness, in terms of our mechanics, are we improving? The short answer is yes. So when we were looking at our initial gunfights, we weren't really like shooting and moving too much, and that's something that I think we've improved on. I think that there's still some things that obviously need to become habitual, but we're in the right direction. I'm hoping that today we can take a look at all of our fights from this game and then try to course correct a bit more. I kind of just went through and timestamped the fights.
Okay.
But kind of seeing where we're at with those in terms of, are we moving enough? Are we moving too little? Are we peaking angles well? And kind of just like really getting into the micro here. But yeah, I mean, I think we're on the right track. And I think that if we can get those in-game habits down in terms of those fundamentals, we'll be looking pretty good. Because again, it's not really like an aim problem. It's a lack of game time and then having the Valorant fundamentals down.
Okay. I think part of it also is like I still am getting used to the commitment of like deciding to spray or not. So sometimes I'll hesitate and then I'll lose a fight just from hesitating. I've noticed that as well. So
yeah, that's valid. Valorant's very feel based in that sense. Like sometimes it's just like, you know, you immediately know when to spray and sometimes you don't. And you know, maybe over the course of a couple of weeks, you'll be able to kind of feel that out a bit better. But it's a mistake I still do too. Okay, let me share my screen here and we can kind of hop into this review here. Just for chat, people in my chat, if the audio is a bit too much, just tune over to Path Stream. The audio should be better there. But can you see my screen?
It's still loading in Discord.
Is it? Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna try rejoining real quick. Okay. Rejoin.
Okay.
Oh wait, when I left Discord, I heard you for a second. So the double the double
yeah, I
audio.
hear myself too.
Yeah, it's from me. Where am I getting double audio from? I have one Discord tab, and I have one stream together open.
Is the hello? Is the stream together? Does it have the video playing? You can probably just mute that whole tab. That's what I did.
Let's see here.
I think we should add a third voice, actually.
That's genius. I am a noob, apparently. If I leave the stream together, it's gonna close that, so I don't want to do that.
If you right-click on the Google tab, it should give you an option to mute it.
It's not a Google tab for me. It's this thing here.
And that doesn't give you an option to mute it?
No, but see, your mic doesn't pop up here, so I don't. So
maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just Discord playing on your screen.
Yeah, let me
see. I can mute it on my side.
Wait, hold on.
And then it's fine.
Let me. Okay, I rejoined. I don't know if that did anything. Can you
rejoin the stream together?
Yeah. No, the maybe I'll start with that. Yeah. If I end the stream together and restart it, that says it's gonna do something bad. Okay, I muted this audio. I muted the audio and the mic on stream together.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just your desktop audio that has my audio in it.
Right. But I'm only getting it from your Discord. Right? Not from stream together?
If I just have your tab muted, it's fine. So I think we should just do that.
Okay, that's fine.
Your Discord tab.
Yeah. It's still double on my end, which I'm confused about.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, at the very end, I'm gonna hear it. Oh, wait. I think it was the Valorant Party chat.
Now?
No, okay. It was the Valorant Party chat.
Oh. How do I turn this
off? It's under settings, and then I muted you in game. That makes a lot more sense. It was Valorant. I was like, dude, I swear it's not the Discord. Oh my god, I forgot party chat was a thing, guys. Okay. Oh, I swear I was going crazy.
VOD watchers start here.
Yeah, VOD watchers start here. Start here. Okay. Okay. Let's kind of just hop into the fights, yeah?
Sounds good to me.
That was funny. Okay. So maybe I will start with kind of just talking about the fact that we're now moving in our fights, at least in deathmatch. So you can kind of see in this fight here, doing a little bit of strafe movement. That's good. That's definitely in the right direction. So you can kind of tell we're doing it in deathmatch, and it's a lot more intentional. Obviously we're getting a few blue bars still.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it.
That'll definitely take some time. But as long as we're kind of headed in this direction, I think we're looking pretty good. So let's kind of compare that to the actual VOD itself. Are we moving as much as we are in deathmatch? The quick answer is no. I don't think anyone really does. Most people don't aim in game how they do in deathmatch. But we could try to move in that direction a bit more for those comp games. So I wish I could do theater mode for this, but just so I can have the timestamps. First fight here, moving a bit, get the kill, and then we kind of go for a flick and die there. So a common theme that we're going to see in these fights is it's a lot of flicking because we don't have the game sense to understand where to crosshair placement for the next fight. So I do think that will get better over time, but I think that might be a really hardcore focus for us. Not necessarily this week. I might think like next week would be good, but we can kind of highlight it now. I think for this week still is going to be making sure we have those gunfight hygiene habits really down pat, like shooting and moving, spraying when you need to. But it's good to kind of highlight here so you can kind of have some subconscious thought on it. So next
Okay.
fight here on round 2, you can see you're kind of strafing out here. Your teammate goes in front of you. You're taking a couple shots and then coming back in. So nothing too crazy. Next fight, same area. Nice headshot, good movement there. Maybe we could be moving and shooting a bit more synced up, but it looks, I would say, pretty good, right? Like the aim portion is very good. So obviously the crosshair placement does take us some time here. Another one here is kind of crosshair placement oriented in terms of awareness, and we kind of lost the strafing there. We kind of had to commit a bit more. Sorry, let me go back. Whoops, wrong button. You kind of have two options here when you use the Spectre. It's like just burst, strafe, burst. My preference is just to actually commit hard to the spray every single time, because the Spectre doesn't really reset as quickly. And we'll get into that in the custom a little bit more, kind of just talking about that. But you get a nice headshot, right? I just want to reiterate again, it's not really an aim problem. You're able to kind of move your crosshair into the face whenever you need to. You just have to work on the crosshair placement as well, for sure. Another fight here. Good flash. Really good flash. Something you'll notice later in this game, the leer isn't actually instant. On their point of view, it does take a little bit of a gap. So
yeah, I'm trying to
occasionally
figure out timing on that.
Yeah, it's very strange. But we'll talk about the leer stuff in the custom a bit more as well. But good leer timing. You're fighting off your teammate's contact here. That's just really good. Game sense in general. I would like to see us move a bit more or commit to the spray. It's like an either or. If you're going to like tap or burst, you're going to be moving. If you're going to be standing still, you're going to be spraying. And then here's another fight here. He has good movement, right? So I kind of want to slow it down and you kind of take a look at it from his point of view here. He's going to shoot a couple bullets and then he's going to strafe back and shoot a couple bullets and then crouch spray. That's very good. 2 bullets, strafe back, crouch spray. That's kind of how I like to approach my gunfights. It's just 1 burst into a spray if they're close enough. In your case, you have a ghost, so you're not really going to win that fight. Here's another one here. This wasn't really a fight. It's just an awareness thing potentially. But this guy just kind of strays back out and insta-kills us. This is an ideal of where we should try to be, where when you're peeking someone, you can get the insta-kill just like how he peeked out, he insta-killed us. And that purely comes out from crosshair placement and peeking technique. There's not really much aim that is used when he gets this kill. He just pre-aims through the wall, takes a step out, and then, shoots his gun. So we're going to go through, obviously, the whole game here, just to kind of see where our fights are looking. But here's another one. This is a spray. If we have slightly better spray control and you committed, I actually think we did 2 bursts if I slow it down a bit. Maybe not. It's kind of hard for me to tell. Let me go back one more time. But this one, you do get the headshot again. This is more so of a spray control thing. From what I can tell, is that if we're able to kind of pull down just slightly, he also crouched our bullets. But if we were able to pull down a little bit more, this is a free kill for you. So with the Spectre specifically, I would say we're struggling a little bit to pull down. But I think that's somewhat normal. It's you haven't really been practicing with the Spectre as much as the Vandal, so this was a nice headshot here, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so headshot there. In terms of gunfight hygiene, I think it's a bit obvious in this case. We kind of stopped and then started shooting at this guy and then kind of committed to it. You do kind of want to be a bit more mobile when you're going for shots like that. But yeah, the main thing so far I would say is movement, right? That's going to be the recurring theme of these fights here. We just aren't moving enough. It's not an aim issue, it's a movement thing. Then also crosshair placement could assist you here. So you actually have a really good peek on this guy. And I want to, you can see here how the movement really aids your fight here. And your crosshair placement's also really good. You're tracing the edge of the wall on that fight as you're going through here. Whoops. Going back, I'm going to mute it. You have really good movement. After you flash and going through, you're just chasing this guy, crosshair placement's on the edge. Very minimal adjustment, right? This is a very ideal fight for us here. So hopefully you can kind of see that. I do think Valiant's very feel-based in the sense that a lot of your fights should be intuitive, and you're simply just lacking reps on it. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of marking some as good and bad. So this was actually a good peak for a few reasons. One, you're swinging off your chamber's contact. Maybe you're just doing off of noise. Doesn't matter. But you hear them, and then you kind of go out and swing. The thing to critique here is our crosshair placement is low. This is just a common theme for us. I think you're aiming a bit visually in the sense that there's this thing in front of you, so you're putting
Yeah.
your crosshair at the thing below it. But if you knew angles of like the angle you're about to fight, you would be able to pre-aim a bit harder. So
Okay.
that's where that map knowledge comes in as well. But aiming visually, like what you actually see on screen, is kind of the opposite of what you do in this game compared to something like COD. So
Okay.
you can kind of see it here. But you get the trade, that's huge. I forget what happens after, but look at the trade. Next fight here. Not much of a fight, but you have a good flick here. This guy catches us off guard a little bit. And then come back over. What I liked about this one specifically is that we're moving a little bit more than we were the other fights. What I kind of noticed here is that you're shooting on the strafe back rather than completing the strafe and shooting like you were doing in the drill. So in game, our movement in our aim, like our movement in our shooting, isn't synced as like it was in the range. And again, I do think that will kind of just take some time, but that is very normal. Like people in non-pressure environments are going to be performing a little bit better. The answer more so is just getting more reps in on the non-pressure environment and then slowly trying to intentionally train that in the game.
Okay.
But there's a lot to overwhelm you in the game as well, such as angles and maps and util and your teammates. So it's a different landscape for sure. Another fight here. We'll have to talk about angle holding. So the sneak peek into this is just that you have the angle. Your crosshair placement is really tight, and we're on a common angle here. So from his point of view, it's pretty easy for him to kind of pre-aim you.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it's actually really hard to hit this shot because when he takes the fight, he will generally swing a little bit wider than your crosshair. In this case, he actually did a really tight peek. So you are more correct in this case. I would say past a certain point, like maybe plat elo, no one peaks tight when they're close to the wall. There's this thing called angle advantage, which we will go into a custom, and you can kind of tell the difference when we kind of explore that, if you're not super familiar with it. But generally, when you're holding an angle, you hold a little bit wider to kind of account for your reaction time, and then also try to avoid being on common angles because you're playing Reyna in this case, and you have the ability to get out. So
Okay.
very easy fixes in terms of how complex the idea is, but to make it intuitive, it will take some time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another similar fight here. So we're angle holding again, then this kind of jiggles us, and then we kind of die on the swing. Have you heard of Peeker's advantage?
No. Maybe.
Okay. So it's kind of blown out of proportion for this game, but the idea is that Valorant is an online game. So whoever peaks first or swings first has the advantage in the sense that they will see you before you see them. So the person that is holding the angle is at a disadvantage because the server doesn't update on their end. So you have like
Okay.
a 50-second advantage or so, depending on your ping, if you swing. I don't think it's as big of a deal in this game compared to like something like CS, but the benefit of swinging in this game is the fact that you have movement speed and the person holding doesn't have movement speed.
Okay.
So there are some ways to mitigate that. One simple one is just AD strafing back and forth when you're holding an angle, and we'll explore that a bit more in the custom as well. I think that would be a pretty big game changer for you when you're holding angles, but let's keep going here. So another fight here, kind of flash through, get the kill. Really good headshot. The pre-aim was actually pretty spot on too, in the sense that you're kind of ready to go through the smoke and you're looking in the middle of the smoke. So when you kind of come through here, you can see you're looking at the right side where your ISO is, and then as you flash out, you turn to the left a little bit. So if you are unsure on if they're going to be left side yellow or right side yellow, this is generally a decent idea if you trust your flicks. If you had a hard read on when you're rotating in here that they haven't crossed the right side yellow yet, then you could preem a little bit better here. But
Wait, what do you
you
mean by
flash.
yellow?
Sorry. This box is called yellow here.
Oh, okay.
So if you knew that, say, they could be on the right side here, aiming in the middle here is actually not too bad because you can kind of flick between both.
Okay.
But yeah, in this case, we did aim in the middle and we hit a really nice flick on this guy. So you flash 2 with your teammate. This is pretty good game sense. And you hit a nice shot on this guy. So again, not a raw aim issue. Your micro adjustments are really clean. And we'll see some 2 really good kills later in this game. So here's another fight, same spot. You died here and then kind of was like, how can they see me? The only thing you need to know here more so is the fact that holding angles is kind of tough. So
Okay.
you'll see again, we kind of hold pretty tight. Crosshairs like really close to the wall here. If I draw the line, you probably want to have your crosshair somewhere here, which might not seem like a big difference. Whoops, I hit the close button. Somewhere right here, which might not seem like a big difference, but it is. And apparently I can't full screen with this tool open, but you can see when we start shooting, he's closer to that X. So if I can't really drag it down, but crosshair placement is going to be a huge thing. It's not intuitive to anyone. It's like a process for everyone. It's the skill ceiling on crosshair placement is infinite, but if you can kind of get to like a base threshold, it will be looking pretty good for us. So
Okay.
have a couple more fights to look here, and then we'll keep going into the custom. So now we're on attack. Attack's always a bit hectic, but you preempt top sight was actually really good. Most people ignore this angle, so kudos.
I feel like
you can
I
actually
always get
see.
shot from up there.
Yeah, there actually is a guy on the other end of top sight, which at the very end, this is a bit less common. So if we get blinded, that's whatever. We come back out, fight this guy, come back in, kind of fight this guy, and then your strafes are keeping you alive a little bit, and then we eventually, that guy dies. So the main thing to kind of note here is I like how mobile you're being, even though it's in a very awkward position.
Yeah.
Moving forward, you might not pull out your flash here, but I like that you're able to kind of duck in and out of cover. That obviously keeps you alive here. So despite the fights not being, I would say, ideal, it works out great for us just because of your mobility. And then we end up getting this kill, and then your movement actually lets you stay alive for that kill. So really prioritize movement in this game. It's extremely important. You can see how hard of a time this guy had to shoot you despite having the jump on us. So regardless, just really good kills. One thing to maybe mention is our flick speed. So if we get this kill here and we get flash from the right, you kind of drag your mouse over like that. I kind of relate this to like controller movement. Like if you're playing a controller, you would kind of also pan your camera that way. In mouse and keyboard players, you'll see them kind of like angle snap to the other side by doing like a really fast flick. So training your flick speed and kind of just, turning around really quickly is a pretty important skill, which actually might be a useful drill for us where you'll face like, you'll put your back to the range, and then when the bot spawns, you like flick back, get the bot kill, and then flick back. I mean, it might be pretty tiring, but you can kind of imagine how that would assist you for. And exactly, that's what the massive mouse pad is useful for. You do need a big mouse pad for this, for the turning. Okay, so let's keep going. Actually, forget this fight. Oh yeah, you just peek out and kill this guy. So it's a good peek. Crosshair placement's great in the sense that you preem through the wall. What we kind of want to talk about here is that you ideally want to learn head level when you peek. So you kind of just peek out, get that kill, great stop, good counter strafe, good 2-bullet burst. But ideally that's a headshot, or at least close to it.
Yeah.
Valorant heads are like really tiny, so even if you play like aim trainers, it's not really going to help you too much. In this case, it's really just about understanding all of the angles, which is kind of what you're doing when you approach the custom. So I can see you're like making progress in your understanding kind of the general spots here. This again really will just take more time, but I do want you to know you're headed in the right direction. We aren't a lost puppy walking around the map, and that's a really good thing.
Well, I think part of it is like maybe especially with Icebox, but it feels like there's so many like minimal slopes where I'm like, okay, I'm not sure where they'll be in front of or underneath it, so I get confused a little, but I think that will just take practice.
That's also this map is notorious for being very difficult to pre-aim, which is why it's like an aimer's map, because you have to make a lot of adjustments. So like there's a lot of vertical elevation, which is one of the reasons why people don't really like the map. So your experience is very, I guess, valid.
Okay.
Very, very valid. And at some point you can't actually even pre-aim properly. You kind of just have to commit to one angle, and then hopefully that your util will clear the other, or you gambled correctly, or you peeked it and they missed. So so going for this fight here, to me this is a peeking thing. So we did like a really tight peek, and I think it was somewhat accidental. Like we kind of actually stopped on the angle exactly, like good or bad. It's like very tight. It doesn't really give you that much room to hit the shot, despite you like landing pretty on point here. This is a really hard peak to replicate, but you kind of see as you kind of come back out here, even after this first fight here, we're gonna do another tight peak, which when we talk about angle advantage, you'll understand why this is bad. So tight peak there is very easy for that guy to get the kill. Okay. So what you'll want to know now, and again we'll explain the custom, just know that peeking really close to the wall is just bad unless they're close to the wall and you're a little bit further. I'm not wording that well, but generally just being close to the wall and peeking tight is bad.
Okay, so I should want to stand farther back.
That's one you can do. You can take a step back just to give you a bit more room on the angle. That is a very viable thing as well. The alternative is just to swing wider. So it's a very common formula to wide swing when you're close to the wall, but we'll definitely get into that in the custom when you kind of see it for yourself. This was just happy to see a spray finally. Good positioning on that guy. I think that might have been our first committed spray this game, at least with the Vandal or rifle, because I think we had a couple Spectres. Okay, so here, this is where we could be spraying. So notice how we like did a little tappity tap. We tapped again, bursted, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Those are like 3 separate instances on where we hit left click, let go, hit left click again. So if you're able to kind of, I don't know, like really get down the intuitive feeling of just knowing when a target is easy to spray, you would be able to reduce the time to kill. Because most of the time you'd be able to spray that guy before he lands again. So there is like a really, like a death circle for your spray that you should get used to. This guy has a really nice shot, which is why tight peeking is bad. That's just an example here. Which, by the way, this is not an easy shot to hit, but he's just holding the edge of the smoke here. So we almost kind of got baited into this, but that he doesn't know any better. He's just holding to the edge of the smoke, and we did a tight peek into it. He obliterates us with a double dink. So tight peeks, again, is very hard to pull off unless you have like really good pre-aim, but
we're not there yet.
It's very difficult to get there. So here another fight. I like the flash swing. You use your flashes pretty well, I would say. You know when to kind of go for it and capitalize off of it. Like kind of going back and forth on this fight here. It looks pretty good in the sense that you're using your mobility, taking a couple shots, moving again. He tags us, so we kind of stop, which is going to be a normal thing. Are you familiar with what tagging is?
That it slows me down just from getting hit, like maybe on the body or something.
Yes, that's correct. So generally when you get tagged, you just commit to the fight, which is what we did here. And this is where we hit some really nice shots. So chat, get your emotes ready. Completely destroyed. That's not even the only kill. We had another crazy shot coming up right here. So what I want to highlight here.
I think they're accidental though, because I have a lot of movement, like the blue bars, right?
Okay, so not the first one. This guy got obliterated. I mean, it does technically say blue bar, but I don't know if that was your second bullet or what. We can actually slow this down because now I'm curious. But your crosshair was on him, so maybe we got a little bit gifted in terms of the accuracy. But your crosshair was on him. This game kind of does that sometimes. Can only see the second fight here. So here's the second one. This one we are stopped. Like the first couple of bullets we were moving, but that was a kill on the stop. So When your crosshair placement is close to the target, you can see how much easier it is to get the kill. And people talk about crosshair placement like all the time, but it really is one of the most important skills. And a lot of it comes from anticipation. So in this case, you're very sure that they can only fight you from, we call this boiler, but you're very sure that this is the angle that they're going to fight you from, which is why it's a lot easier to get the kill.
Yeah.
Whereas on other maps or certain bomb sites, it's not as intuitive, like where they are, where they're going to be. It's very chaotic, right? And we kind of actually saw that on the first week when we looked at the bind VOD. There's just so much stuff to look at. So there's not really a quick fix to that unless you want to play info agents like Sova that will tell you where people are because you have wall hacks. But other than that, it is kind of an intuition thing. But again, kind of highlighting the importance of crosshair placement. So here's another fight here. This is just an angle holding thing. Pointed out a couple times, but here's another instance. We kind of just put our crosshair on the angle. Number one, crosshair placement too tight. Again, a little bit too low, but maybe more importantly here, we're standing still and we're on a common angle. So all this guy has to do is pre-aim, swing out, and he gets the kill. Whereas we have to hit an adjustment. So if I go back slightly, and if I can pause it on the frame, that would be great. Okay, so we're learning. So our crosshair is here. In the future, it has to be here. I know it's kind of like obscure, but I want you to look at the gap from the wall. This is like, maybe I'll change the color. You have to kind of get very familiar with like how far your gap should be. And this is very, this gap here is very similar to my gap on how far I need to put my crosshair away from the wall.
Okay.
And the other thing too, like I said, is going to be the position we're standing in. So maybe instead of being directly on like next to this box, we could take a couple steps to the side and we can kind of just go from there too. So we'll hop into Icebox and then kind of explore these angles as well, so you can kind of get a better feel for it. This was a good flick. Let me speed this up a little bit. This guy kind of catches us off guard because we try to flash and fight the Phoenix, and then we end up fighting this guy. Dismiss, reposition. I will show the whiff here, just because this is supposed to be a spray, but then he did tuck in the cover. So you made a great play by throwing the flash, right? Your utility usage, you have a good feel for it. We swing with it as well. It's just unfortunately a lot of blue bars. Maybe you could simplify with the spray as well. So a huge tendency to kind of just go for burst and taps. And then this was a little bit unlucky. So we dodge the flash and then kind of peek out. I say unlucky in the sense that we kind of overexpose a little bit when we weren't intending to. But this is simply just understanding the peaking mechanisms. Like we just want to go for wide swings when you're close to the wall. Like throw the whole slicing of the pie kind of out the window a little bit when you're very close to the wall, because it's impossible. And you'll understand why when you go into the custom, because you'll see my shoulder when we walk through it.
Okay.
Sorry, did you have something to say?
Well, I was gonna say, I think I mentioned this in the warm-up that I sent you, but I think it was a warm-up that I did after where I was like, okay, I don't know how much I'm exposing when I'm behind this. Also, I think my mic was muted when I did that, so I was thinking like maybe never mind, I didn't say that. But...
I gotcha. Yeah, well, we'll definitely look at the hitbox, because like knowing how wide your character is like a skill in this game. Kind of kill this guy. The only thing I really want to point out here is just we weren't ready for it, which is fine. Crosshair placement wasn't actually that bad. Like it's kind of in the general vicinity. But if we're going on some checklist here, are we at head height? No. Are we at a common angle? Yes. And do we peek it properly? No. So like we kind of went for a shift peek here. So on the right direction, at least we're not like aiming into the wall or anything like that. So we get the kill here. We could probably spray that guy, but we get the kill regardless. And then you kind of figure out what button to press for the heal. Just know that your heal is a tether, by the way. So if you like go back into cover, it cancels. So you only got like a little bit of the heal and then
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. It's not like that for all agents. If you're playing Clove and you grab the orb, it will just full heal you. But this one's I think Reyna's supposed to be like a vampire or something. I don't know exactly. Not a vampire, but someone that steals life energy. So here, angle holding again. You can kind of see we're just standing still. Actually, we did move at the last second. He has a spray weapon. The Odin's very good in this rank, just because most people don't hit insta headshots to punish it. But yeah, just a bit more AD. Okay, so that's the state of our gunfights as of this 14-14 Icebox game. To kind of recap a little bit. We can get rid of this. Icebox right now. Okay. So what did we see? Mechanically, we saw angle holding was difficult. Okay, so that's one. Two was we aren't moving as much as we could be. Crosshair placement is still work in progress. Made more apparent on all of Icebox's angles. And then last but not least, not much spraying / spray control. And then I'll put Spectre difficulties. Okay. I'm missing one. Oh, the peeking close to the wall. Tight peaks. Not understanding, potentially character width. Okay. So let's hop into the game here. I believe Virginia's the lowest ping for you. I will check one more time, but that should make the most sense. Oh, your Illy ping and your Georgia ping is actually not bad. You could technically play on NA servers and probably be okay.
I could try.
Okay. Probably not worth it. Well, actually, it might be. I think NA tend to calm more.
Maybe. My Paris ping is like 3 though, so I just stay here.
Oh yeah, 3 ping. Yeah, we might want to stick to that. Okay. Couple things to explore here. So maybe the first would be understanding your angle width. Your character width. So let's kind of go from there. Could you also share your Valorant on your end as well?
Yes.
The blossom wavers in strong wind, yet I am no flower. My ultimate is ready.
Can you see mine?
Yes, perfect. Okay, so I am going to fly over to you. Let me mute your thing. Okay, so if you can kind of come over here, let's go to A site, and we'll just explore angle advantage first. So maybe the best way to start is I'm going to stand into this wall and kind of stand into I'm going to stand here and you're going to stand here. And you're going to see my shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can't see anything. Okay, so that's the first thing to understand. When I back up a little bit, now I can see you, but now you can see my head as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're peeking close to the wall, you can see I have a clear disadvantage until I go really wide. Which means peeking close to the wall, when you're close to the wall, like a tight peek, is very difficult to pull off. Because not only do you have to have really good pre-aim, but there's a lot of angles that you open up to at once. So let's say like I'm trying to pre-aim this angle. Not only that I expose to rafters, your angle here, but also right side sight. Whereas if I back up a little bit and I want to isolate it, it's just easier to slice the pie. I can peek this angle, then I can peek the angle you're on, and then I can peek this angle here. Whereas if I'm tight again, I expose all of it at once. So since you're going to expose all of it as once, you might as well fully commit, and that's why you kind of go wide when you're close to the wall to try to swing past that crosshair placement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe just get a feel for it, and I'll stand over here and you kind of see it on your monitor as well, on what that looks like.
I don't know how to gauge.
Sorry, do you have 2 monitors? Can you see my screen and your screen?
I did try to move it over, but it wasn't working. Okay.
Yeah, so I see your shoulder a little bit there. Maybe I can change it to red outline, just because you're used to red. Okay, I can see a little bit of red there. Yeah, just fiddle with it. You can jiggle in and out. You're gonna get a feel for it. But all you really need to know is the closer you are to the wall, the more you kind of need to commit, or just be more careful, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
And then obviously if I'm holding you, I want to go as far away as possible to kind of maximize my angle advantage. Yeah, those are good peaks though. If you did that in game with the pre-aim, like the crosshair placement, you just get free kills here. Okay, so this is obviously one part of it. This is the peaking side of things. Maybe the other thing to kind of talk about is angle holding, because we had a similar position in our game. So when you're angle holding, you probably don't want to stand here because this is the common angle. So you want to like take slightly a couple steps and go to the left and here and kind of pre-aim from there. Because like from my point of view, if I'm clearing, I'm going to peek this one first, but then I'm not going to actually peek this one properly. So it could just be peek here and then peek this one, and I would skip this one. Especially if you're in the lower ranks, like they kind of just skip a lot of off angles. So yeah, you would hold the off angle here. And the other thing that you want to do when you're angle holding is just AD spamming a little bit. Have you ever done this where you're kind of like shimmying back and forth holding an angle?
I get scared of being tagged, so I guess I don't.
Okay, that is valid. I will maybe say that AD strafing does just let you dodge bullets a bit more. You don't have to do like full steps, you can. But yeah, typically when you angle hold, you kind of just shimmy like that. So it's very hard for me. Even if I were to say have really good pre-aim, it would actually be kind of hard for me to get the kill because you're dodging it. So that just gives you a slight chance to offset peeker's advantage. The thing that we talked about earlier, where I have the advantage to see you first anyways, but since you're moving, I'm probably gonna miss. And then when I go for the shot, inherently I have to stand still. So that's your perfect timing to then stop the AD strafe and then shoot me as I'm shooting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to kind of just AD hold there. I'm gonna peek you, and then I want you to try to just shoot me, I guess, in the face.
Okay.
Okay. That's good though. That's good.
We need nothing.
I hesitated.
That's okay. We'll do a couple of reps of this just because I want you to get the feel for this. Realistically, Valorant's a very feel-based game. I'm gonna move the spike. So I'm just gonna peek you a couple of times, and I want you to get a feel for how wide you're holding, how high you're holding, and stopping when you see me and actually lining up the shot. For the sake of not insta-killing, I'm going to use a ghost. Okay, so let's swing.
Oh.
That's okay. You can turn on auto respawn on the cheats. Down a little bit more. And there you go. It's under player. Perfect. Okay, so just buy your equipment again, and we'll just keep going for these fights a couple of times. Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna keep peeking you and just get these reps. When you AD, by the way, just out of curiosity, when I pop up on your screen, what's your inputs? Like, are you letting go? Are you counter strafing? Are you trying to shoot in between your strafe? Like, do you actually know?
I don't actually know. I have the input overlay. If you want to look at my stream and see.
Okay. Yeah, I can take a look. Instead of the Discord stream. Let's see.
Can you see it?
1 second. I got a 30-second ad, so we'll keep running through this drill until my ads are over.
Okay.
But yeah, just your goal here is to AD hold and then insta kill me, I guess, when I peek.
Cool.
Okay, it's okay though. In those reps. You can hopefully kind of tell how wide you have to hold. Oh, you know what? Another thing, I can kind of throw in peeking close to the wall. So I'm gonna peek you close. Now you have to hold way wider. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can see your keyboard overlay. So I'm just gonna keep strafing out. I'm not gonna look at my screen. I'm just gonna look at your keyboard overlay here, and then just try to insta kill me when I peek out. That's all.
Okay.
good. We're not like over moving, I would say. The sync between our stop and our shot or our shooting is obviously going to take time, but I wouldn't say there's anything like obviously wrong with it.
Okay.
But yeah, that should give you a good feel. Something that people will always mention, by the way, is video settings. Are you interested in changing your video settings at all?
What do you mean by that? I have changed some settings, like
Okay.
on my main account, but I don't have them set on this account, so I can't tell you what I have.
Gotcha. If you check it, I can kind of just give you the main ones to make sure you double check on your main. But the main one would be you want like all of this stuff on the bottom off, unless you want bloom on, which kind of just makes Sova darts a bit easier to see.
Oh,
it's under graphics quality. Sorry, under graphics quality. Yeah, so you have it all off here. You would also want to make sure VSync is off, and then the quality stuff is a bit preference. I tend to just play all low, but as long as you kind of have the basic stuff there, you will be looking pretty good. So yeah. Okay, so we have angle holding. Like I said, if you're holding an angle, you kind of just want to AD strafe a little bit. I tend to do it with a bit closer cadence than you do. You're kind of going a bit wider. So with the closer cadence, I'm able to kind of stop a bit more. Maybe something that you can do is you peek me and then I'll kind of do it. And then you can actually just look at my screen, like how it looks. Watch, I'm terrible apparently, but I'm kind of just ADing a bit closer here.
Okay.
And then that kind of allows me to get the shot a bit quicker. Whereas like even if you tuck back in, I'm able to kind of shoot a little bit quicker. But it is very hard to get the kill. I'm being exposed. But yeah, okay, so that's angle holding. Typically you AD spam when you're angle holding, unless you have like a really good off angle and they're not expecting you at all. Then you might just stand still. But if you feel like they might clear you or you're on a common angle, ADing can just give you another chance. So that's just kind of the main thing you need to know. And then in terms of crosshair placement, just give yourself like a hefty gap. Like I'll like hold wider than you think you would need to.
Okay.
I know that's very generic, but yeah, that's a good starting point. Most people hold too close, so if you just go a little bit wider than you need to, it helps a lot.
Okay, so how do you decide if you want to let's see. So if you look at my screen,
yes,
what we've been practicing is like going like this, right? So, but if I'm swinging out wide, do I want to be like over here or
great
like
question.
just prep for it?
It depends on what angle your read is on. So if you don't actually know what angle they're on, you would just throw jiggles in until you can kind of clear it out. So stand in this corner and I'll kind of show you. So if you look at my screen here, I'll jiggle the first angle because I'm close to the wall, right? I don't really want to commit because I have angle disadvantage. So I'm just going to jiggle this one, jiggle that one. And then now I've kind of cleared this one and this one. I'm going to commit with the hard pre-aim here. So jiggle, jiggle, now I pre-aim, and then I'll kind of go wide. But that's only because I've been able to kind of clear these. If I didn't clear anything and I just wide swung, it's going to be really risky, in which case I might use a flash. And then I can kind of wide swing because it buys me time, which somehow my flash isn't hitting you. But I would wide swing and then try to use the flash to buy me time. So if my pre-aim is off, I can go for that adjustment. So typically if you wide swing, it's really good to do it with the flash.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're doing it on the far back wall here, you could just do deady peaks if you wanted to and kind of just go one by one. And that's completely fine. You don't really have to jiggle if you have good peaks here. Good question though.
Okay.
Any I guess follow up?
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's kind of revisit the list here. So angle holding, this was the AD holds, crosshair placement, hold wider than you think you need to, peeking close to the wall, either back up to slice the angle better or commit to a wider strafe. Okay, so next up we have moving, which is kind of what our drills are for, and then not much spraying. Okay, so maybe you can kind of practice the spray a little bit on these angles. Let's maybe go into some spray angles here. So I have a little noob specter here. This would probably be a specter fight here, right on this fight here. So maybe first is I will kind of show you how I would take this fight with the specter, and maybe you can try to replicate it.
Okay.
By armor. So first, I'd probably just, because I'm peeking close wall here, I'll probably jiggle this first one, jiggle, and then I'll jiggle the second one, and then I'll full clear this one. And I'll just go for a Karate spray and try to get as many headshots as possible. Like, that's typically how I'm going to use this specter here. So I'm going to stay on the same spot, and then you try to do that.
Okay.
Sorry, with the jiggles as well. I want you to jiggle this angle here. Jiggle this angle.
Oh.
I wish I could spray multiple, but this one, and then I'll put an op down for the next one. Move these guns. Okay. Just make sure you're jiggling these. Then I'll stand here. Oh, it disappeared. That's the wrong one, but whatever. You get the idea. Okay, good.
Wait, what's this angle?
Yeah, sorry, I sprayed the wrong one because it keeps disappearing. So this would be the
Okay.
first one here. Maybe I'll stand on. This is the first one.
Okay.
The second one is here.
Okay.
And then this is the last one
Okay.
there.
Oh.
Okay, so when I say jiggle, I guess, are you familiar with what I mean by that? Because I don't think I've been very clear.
I'm assuming it's just going as little as possible and coming back.
Okay, that is accurate. Why would you do a jiggle peek?
To leave as quickly as possible.
Yes, so it's like not very committal, right? You're just gathering info.
Yeah. Like that?
Okay, we can be a bit more precise with the jiggle. So since we're not actually trying to fight the guy, you want to be as tight as possible. So we're just seeing the angle for like half of a second and kind of coming back out.
Okay.
Okay. You have like the correct, I guess, angles. I just want you to tuck back in quicker. So this actually would be a case where you want to, you don't want to have a, how do I explain this? You hold D and then you hold A. There's no like hold D, stop, hold A. It's just hold D, hold A. Because you're actually not trying to shoot in between the
Okay.
middle of it. You're just swinging side. Yes, exactly like that.
Okay.
You're just swinging, you're swinging.
I guess I hesitated over there, but
It's good. And then when you get to the last angle on me, I just want you to commit to that spray and try to like triple dink me.
okay.
So jiggle, jiggle. Good. Commit to the spray.
One more time?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Okay. Oh no.
Yeah, commit to it. Just commit to it. Shoot like 20 bullets. And I want you to get a really good feel for the spray control here.
Okay. Oh no.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Part of it comes to the pre-aim. Part of it comes to the spray control. The other part is just committing to it so you can actually stand there and shoot me. We could probably be spraying a bit, or like pulling down a bit harder. Maybe try with the Vandal. See how that feels.
Okay.
Because I know you have more experience with that gun.
Oops.
It's okay.
Add movement.
Okay. Our pre-aim could be a little bit cleaner on the last fight. Because you want your crosshair to be as close as possible to me.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, so since you kind of have this last part down, let's kind of clean up these jiggles a little bit. So I'm going to stand on this first angle here. And when you jiggle me, I want you to be able to almost kind of pre-fire me. So this is a technique that I don't really enforce training much because it's not that useful. I also can see your shoulder, by the way.
Oh.
There you go. Just know that, yeah, so that's also the other skill that we need to learn as well, that we just talked about. But maybe I'll run through it first so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, and I'll do it really slow.
Do you want me to go back over here?
It's up to you. Yeah, that's fine. If you just want to take a look at my screen, that's also fine. It doesn't really matter. I just want to show you what I want you to do. So this first angle is this, right? So you could just jiggle it, not shoot. In this case here, I want you to kind of have a really good idea of what that angle is. So I'm going to ask you to pre-fire it. And I want you to be able to pre-fire insta-kill me. So I'm just going to stay on that first one, and we'll move on to the second point after that.
Okay.
Okay. So that's okay. You can just kind of feel it out a little bit. Okay. That's good. If that was a deady peak. So like that, if that was like a completed peak. When you pre-fire in this game, you will, you don't actually peek and stop. You just like quickly change directions.
Okay.
Kind of like if you're on the analogy that was used by Woohoojin was if you're like on a swing set as a kid and you're like you're kind of getting pulled back, there's that like little downtime right before you reverse directions to kind of go forward. That's when you sneak in your bullet. So in this case here, when you're going from right to left, you're sneaking in a bullet right before you direction change.
Okay.
Kind of feel that out. Have you ever done this before, like the dead zone?
No.
Okay, it's not that important to train, but again, just for the example of angle clearing here, I think it might be worth considering. Yeah, just keep spamming that.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna look at your input keys.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just keep going, sorry. I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up while I watch. Okay, it's good. It looks good. It obviously could be like always a little bit cleaner, but you have the basic idea down. Okay, so we have that angle. We'll move on to the next one, which is where I was standing here.
Okay,
We'll
do you still want me to fire here?
Yes. So you'll fire on the first one and then fire on the second one.
Okay.
Oh, that's good though. That actually looks good. If you're able to insta-kill me on the second. Yeah, that's good. That is looking good. Okay, so just keep going through that cadence. And I am going to pick a random one of those three angles. So we have one, which is the first one that you had, the second one that I'm at currently, and then the third one that you were practicing on the Spectre.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like randomly pick one as I'm walking through the map, and you'll just keep swinging. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go for it. That was a little bit late,
I'm
but
not
that's
going
okay.
in far
No,
enough.
keep going. This is one of the hardest parts to clear in this map, by the way. Okay, you have those reps. Let's run through that drill on other parts of the map.
Okay.
So, I mean, this right side sight is very difficult. I don't know if it's worth tackling yet. Let's run over to B main. Okay, maybe first I'll have you recreate that yellow fight where you were angle holding over yonder, and then I will peek you. And instead of standing here to angle hold, I want you to stand back, and I want you to AD spam, like so. And I'm going to peek you, and I want you to kill me. Yeah, so perfect. And then just AD hold spam from there. Oh, and if you can, just AD spam instead of going back into cover. Like, actually stay on the angle, like this. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to peek you, and you're going to kill me. Okay, you ready?
Okay. Oh, no.
No, it's okay. This will also practice your 2-bullet burst. So, like, shoot 2 bullets, stop, strafe, or sorry, shoot 2 bullets, strafe, shoot 2 bullets, strafe.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot back at you, but I'm not actually gonna. Sometimes the fights get really extended when this happens. It's okay though. This is practice for the game. Don't worry about it. You want to get to the point to where sometimes you'll be able to insta-kill me when I swing.
Okay.
Like sometimes you will be able to, and sometimes you won't.
There's a little bit of an incline here, so should I go in front of it?
That's a great point. So some people actually just AD on the incline and account for that when they pre-aim.
Oh.
Because now it's harder for you to die, but it's also harder for you to aim. But in your case, if you want, you can just stand from here. There's no incline if you do it from here.
Okay.
So that's a personal preference, to be honest. Okay. I'm going to peek you again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peek out and stop. And I want you to see me, recognize that I'm there, and then kill me on your first bullet. So if you have to slow down, that's okay. But this will help you kind of intuitively understand your crosshair placement a little bit more. Okay?
Okay.
Maybe the crosshair is a bit too fat, but that's okay.
I can switch to the circle.
It's up to you. The crosshair placement is a little bit low, and I don't know if it's due to the crosshair or just because your crosshair placement is normally low. Okay, so we are kind of holding at a good width. We aren't able to kind of quickly adjust to get that insta-kill, which I guess is partly due to mouse movements. Are you aiming at all as well, or are you relying completely on your movement?
Oh, both.
Okay, both. That's okay. No, that's okay. I was just curious. It's like a repetition thing then. Oh, some people actually like the ADS too. I don't know if you're going to be one of those players that like it, but at this range, a lot of people like the ADS and just kind of go for the shot. Exactly, yeah. It feels a bit cleaner that sometimes like that. So, I mean, it is a distance-based thing. So, like, you might feel more comfortable with the ADS at that range when you're angle holding. So, yeah, keep trying to kill me with it. You might be able to just line it a bit more. But if I go a bit closer, like, say from here, some people, like, now this might be a hip fire angle. Like, let's say I'm in this corner, and you know I'm in this corner. And you're ADing holding me. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, from there. And you're just holding me from there, and you're ADing like that. Some people prefer to do it from hip fire, because if I peek out here, I might swing past, and that's kind of a harder to hit, a shot to hit. So you might prefer this one as hip fire. So I guess just try it out. I'll just swing you from here. No, it's okay. What do you think? Do you prefer the hip fire or the ADS?
I think because I have trouble deciding to switch between ADS and hipfire, that I just would prefer not to think about it and just go.
No, that's fair. That is valid. That is valid. Yeah, just throw the hipfire out the window, or the ADS out the window. Here's a new exercise. Can you stand still actually and just angle hold, but then hold? I'm gonna just swing out directly, and I want you to get a feel for what your one tap would be. Like if you could only shoot one bullet and you couldn't move your mouse at all, and you had to only click. What's your reaction time on that, I guess?
Okay.
Sorry, it is really hard. Okay, that's good. And you're also playing with 80 ping, so it's harder. Try to hold, go a little bit tighter, and I want you to like really limit test how close you could go. Oh, see? Nice.
Oh.
It's not ever going to be perfect, okay? But that is kind of what your gap is going to be. So we're going to do the same experiment over here. I'm going to do the far angle way back here, and you're going to stand still and do the same thing. You did tag me, so that's good. Nice.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to go again. Okay, I swung past that one. Okay, swung past that one. It is kind of hard. The further away it goes, the harder it is, I think.
What I was thinking about, I think it was actually in game. I was trying to, I don't remember what exactly I was doing, but it's very similar to this. It kind of, have you ever done those, it's like a game where you have to align the face or something. So like you have to match the eyes where the eyes would go, and press your reaction time decides where the face goes. I'm trying to imagine that with this. I think I'm just naturally really bad at it.
I see. It takes time. It's skill learning. What kind of comes to mind for me is those captchas where you're like dragging the puzzle piece into the little thing.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so now you can kind of understand a little bit on how wide you should be holding on angles, and then you will hold that same width even if you're AD holding it. Now it just kind of comes to actually stopping and shooting on that timing. So that will take time, but yeah, those are the kind of two ways to angle hold, I guess. Is one where you're going for like a quick pot shot, like as if you have an op, trusting your reaction time and kind of just getting out, or you would do the AD holding here. And for your case, it probably is just going to be better just to do AD holding to get more comfortable, but just make sure you hold wide enough and then you can kind of go from there. So, okay, let's talk about clearing B main. So we got the angle holding piece. Now we actually have to walk through this part of the map. This part of the map is kind of awkward. So I'm going to kind of first walk you through where the most common spots are. So this is one, which is kind of where you played. Okay, so this is one. The next one is kind of behind this box here, holding this off angle into main. This next one after that, people will peek wide into main from this side of the box. Yeah, into here.
Is
and
this
then
main?
yes, that's main.
Okay.
And then I guess another one would be closer to this box if you're playing against like a jet or chamber. So for the sake of this drill, you're going to kind of, I'll walk through it first from my screen. So you'll probably jiggle this first one. I don't really ever fight this first one, or you just swing out and just ignore it. But so you'll fight this first one kind of where you're at now. Your character is at. That's the first angle. The second angle is going to be the box. I just lagged a little bit. First angle is you. Second angle is the box. Third angle is going to be this box here. Fourth angle is going to be yellow. You can just jiggle it or fight it if you want. And then the next angle is going to be this cubby. So with all of these, I want you to pre-aim and peek them as if you're going to kill me. You could jiggle as well if you feel like that's more comfortable based on the angle. So that's preference, but I'll kind of just explain how I would approach these angles. I would jiggle the first. So the one you're on, I would jiggle because I don't like that fight. I would fully swing this box angle. I would jiggle this box because I don't like that fight. And then I would also fight yellow. And then I would come back in and I would also fight this angle. But you can do it however you want. You could just jiggle all of them, which would look like this. Or you could peek all of them, which would be kind of hard. You might have to overexpose to this first one. And then kind of go here and then peek this. It's kind of up to you there. But I kind of told you my purposes. You can kind of just run with that.
Okay. Let's see. So first, this one?
Yep, the one I'm standing on.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be the first one. Second one's going to be the box.
Wait, this side
sorry,
or this side?
This side.
Here.
Okay.
So maybe we can just take it one by one, actually. Maybe kill me on this angle first a couple of times, and then I'll move over to the box. And we'll just do it incrementally. So you'll kill me on this one. Yeah, perfect. Do that a couple times. Okay. I'm going to move over to the box. Pretend like you still killed me, so go for that first shot still.
Okay.
And then move on to me. Perfect. And then kind of do that sequence again. Start with the first one.
Okay.
Good. Run through that a couple times. Okay, and then I'll move over to the next angle. Of course, you'll continue doing that. I'm on this angle now.
So, okay. I need
Yeah, so you'll step out a little bit.
Ugh.
This one's really hard. I normally just jiggle this one because it's so, like, difficult.
Okay.
Okay.
So, if I go back to do this.
Okay, so notice how you went really close to the wall there.
Oh,
you have a natural inclination to go to the wall. You'd probably want to clear all of these from the back wall here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oops.
No, it's okay. Okay, good. Keep running through that. Your premium is getting better as well. We're at head height here, which is good. This is how ideally it should look like in deathmatch and in game. If your preaim is off, that's where your micros will come in, like your raw aim, where you can actually like adjust. But just easier said than done, of course. Okay, good. I'm gonna go to the yellow angle now, but keep going with the sequence. The guns might be lagging a little bit as well, because I see your FPS kind of bugging out a little bit. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eventually it does come automatic and you'll be able to just like sprint through the main. It's like you're doing it just like very seamlessly. That's why it's also sometimes it helps to just jiggle angles, because like if you can't get all of the angles like cleared properly, you might just prioritize certain ones. Where like, for example, this first angle that you've been shooting and pre-firing, I always jiggle this one because like I don't actually like to take this fight, and then I'll just commit hard with my pre-aim on this one I'm standing at. And then like I said, for this box, I don't really like to fight this one, so I'll jiggle this box, make sure there's no one there, and then I will hard commit to the yellow fight here. Unless they have op money, then I'll jiggle that one too. So it is kind of preference at the end of the day how you clear it. You just have to make sure you are clearing the angle somehow with a jiggle or with a proper peek if you're trying to get the kill. You're doing good though. I'm getting the reps in here.
Do you think I'm going too wide here?
I personally like to go wide on this fight and just gamble. Like, so short answer is that's what I do. And then if there's a guy on this angle here, I kind of just hope that I don't insta die.
Yeah, okay.
So it is a gamble when you go for wide swings. I'm going to restart the game because there's a lot of guns on the ground and it might be affecting the FPS. So
we won.
I see.
Focused.
yeah, let's get to the same spot.
Okay.
Wrong bomb site.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. Any questions so far?
I don't think so.
It's just a lot of drills. A lot of drills.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. I'm gonna go move on to the next angle here. Which honestly, I don't even know how people hold this normally. I feel like I don't actually even take this fight normally, but I'll just stand here.
They were not good enough.
Easy peasy. Something that might help if you're very visual with crosshair placement. I'm gonna stand next to this box and you can kind of see my head. You see how like my head is in kind of like in line with the corner of like this. There's like a line on this box. My head is like kind of close to it. There's a lot of lines like that throughout the map. So if I go to this box, you can see my head level is at the top of this box basically.
Yeah.
And then if I get further back, it's kind of going to be the same. There's lines along this wall here. My head's going to be pretty close to this line here along this wall. Yellow has like another line right here that my head's pretty close to. So visually, you can kind of get a decent idea on where to put your head level just because of these lines around the map. It's not perfect. Some of them are perfect and they'll be 1-to-1. Like for example, this box, like all of the boxes in Valorant that are kind of this item, I guess, they're all the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like they're all the same height. So you can kind of really get a good feel for that. I don't know if that helps at all, but I guess I figured I'd mention it.
Okay.
You'll be able to find a lot of visual stuff for your crosshair placement.
Oops.
I don't know if people actually hold the angle I'm on, by the way. I feel like people tend to just peek out late from where I'm at, kind of like how you did against that Phoenix. But it is kind of just another angle to think about, I guess. Okay, so now we'll do the thing where I just pick a random one, and I guess you'll do your best to try to kill me.
Okay.
Go by this box. Oh, I can hide here? I didn't know that. Well, that's good to know actually, because you might actually have to come out and full clear this box.
Okay.
Where like you see how like I'm fully tucked.
So I should like swing out.
Yeah, you do have severe angle advantage on me, so you'll be able to see your gun. Like if you ever play against a guy that's hiding behind the box, you'll be able to. I can't see you right now. So, at all actually. So if you, I guess just keep that in the back of your mind. If you clear this first angle like this and you don't see him, you might want to like just double check they're not behind the box.
Okay.
I didn't know that actually. So yeah, that's good to know. It's gonna be like a noob question, but do you like visualize the angles?
I'm trying to, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I have heard that some people I've worked with have like the thing where they can't like they don't have imagery in their head. So
Yeah, I
that's
don't.
kind of what I
I'm
was just wondering.
aphantasic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. So it's going to be purely reps for you, I suppose. I believe Zasko is the same.
Oh. Okay. Because I'm trying to figure out if I go wide, out where you will be.
You can go wide and then just hit your flick. So if you wanted to, you could just take this first sequence here as a completely wide swing, and just keeping in mind the two angles I talked about, and just hit a flick on one of those. If you are gonna go wide, you'd probably aim somewhat in the middle, or maybe bias more towards the box. Okay. I think. And then you just hit like a flick, I guess. That is something that you will see, like, I guess professionals do sometimes if they're like running low on time. They'll just wide swing something and hit the flick. Okay, I am going to switch it up to another angle now, so you can get some different reps.
Okay.
It is a very hard fight here. Far yellow. I guess a lot of people tend to opt this angle.
Oops.
You know, the other angle I didn't even add to this is top of the box, like the one that you kind of pointed out. Some people will opt this, which I don't know if you should actually pre-aim it, but you could just jiggle this one out maybe. Go a bit wider.
This box?
Keep going, keep going.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see me, like I'm in the far corner. So some people will opt this. Maybe you just jiggle this one. I feel like pre-aiming this one's gonna be really hard. Like maybe just jiggling that box angle and this one that I'm standing at now is kind of the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of angles here, so. Sorry, I was so tempted.
Oh wait. Here.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that kind of covers some of the angles. There's one more that I wanted to touch on for Icebox because it is kind of important, and you're playing Reyna. So, and it's this like sequence at A at the start. Okay, so routing on A site Icebox is very confusing. I'm gonna show you my favorite. and then I'll show you the other ones that you can kind of pick from.
Okay.
Okay, so my favorite is to start from belt, and then from here I like to drop down, and then when I drop down I like to look at the top of this like thing. Actually, I'll switch to your team so you can see what I'm pinging. Wait, how the fuck do I ping? Oh yeah, it's this one. So I'll preem the top of this because some people can jump up there. I don't know how often that happens in your games, but that's an angle to be worried about. And then after that, I'll clear this angle here on top of this thingy. And then I'll preem lower like this for the common angle. And then from there, I will wide swing and kill the guy that's far here. Okay. And then from here, most of the time, I will go up top because I don't like to scale A site on the floor. So there's two ways to do this. Let's go with the simple one. We can just go on this box and just jump over, and then jump again. And then from here, if you have a flash, I like to flash high and then clear the close angle, close right, and then I'll peek gen. So, oh, that's okay.
I can't make that.
You can.
Okay.
It'll take a bit of reps, but you can.
Oh,
there you go.
I made it.
It also helps too if you crouch at the very end. It makes sure like characters stick a bit more.
Oh, okay.
But so when I'm up here, I like to jiggle this first angle here by the barrels. If you want to take a look, yeah.
Oh,
so that first,
okay.
Oh, that's, that's
I'll just
okay.
look down here.
Yeah, and then the second angle, then I like to flash, and I'll fight Jen here.
Okay.
And then from here, I like to go out to the right. And I don't actually drop down. I'll clear all of the angles from up here, and then clear that corner like this, and then I'll jump on the rope, and then I'll kind of like zip line across if I want to, or I'll kind of just stay up here. This is like, I guess, my favorite, but you don't have to take this one. I kind of just want to show it. The way you might prefer to do it is from the floor. So if you want to do it from the floor, you kind of go a similar sequence where you would like clear that close barrel, but you won't be able to full clear the barrel until you get to here.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to clear the barrel first, and then from here you'll kind of do that practice that we did earlier where you'll like clear these 3 angles, clear all of that, and then from here you have to make the decision. Do I want to go left or right? If you go right, you're going to throw out, get close to the wall and flash, and then kind of go. If you're going to go left, it kind of just comes to framing properly. So you probably aim bottom screens, this fight here, and then kind of back sight here, and then you'll scale up a little bit to clear your gen like this. But this is kind of getting into routing. I don't want to overwhelm you too much. Just the most important thing when you go to Icebox A site, in my opinion, is to go belt. I like to start belt and drop down. I find that if you go from the floor, like let's say the round starts and you go from here, it's just a bit too scary because you can kind of die to the op here.
Yeah.
So I like to go from belt first and drop down. That I would say is the biggest takeaway, is just go belt, drop down.
Up here?
Oh, yes. So if they're on top of Jen, they can see this line here.
Oh, I think I've seen people with op over here.
Yep, that's another angle. This one's really popular. Another really popular one is in nest, so like that top side area.
Yeah.
Even on top of this box, like aiming for belt is pretty common, although jump up. So there's just a lot of angles to worry about on defense.
Yeah.
But I avoid this angle here by going on belt and dropping down, because you can kind of avoid this one.
Okay.
So to quickly recap, start the round, you can go belt, and then from here, you just drop back down to kind of where you are and then kind of proceed from there. That's my preferred way. You clear the 2 angles on top, so one up here, and then you will peek the common angle here, and then you'll clear the wide angle here. And then if you want to continue on the floor, you can. If you want to go up top, you can. That will kind of be up to you.
Okay. It'll take practice for me to do the top one, but...
For sure. You can also do it from here. So you can go up this rope and then jump out from this side.
That might be harder. Hold on.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of where air strafing comes in. So if you hold W and then hold D and then curve your mouse. So you're looking straight out. You would actually do it from, like, I'm looking this way.
Yeah.
And then I would jump and then kind of air strafe, like, as I'm circling. It's
Okay.
easier than it looks, I think, but it just takes a bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. And then maybe last thing is the belt fight, because I did see you go for these belt fights in your game. From these here, where you're peeking into sight. These fights are actually really good for attackers, as long as they don't have op money. So maybe I'll just go ahead and stand on the angle so you actually know what headshot is. So I'm top rafters here. Go ahead and you can see me through the wall, so you can kind of have a good idea of how to pre-aim that. And then I'll also do the thing for bottom. So here's another one. Generally, I just commit to one of them because obviously it's an up-down. So normally I just pre-aim the top one, and if they're on the bottom, I hit the flick. Or I just jiggle. But yeah, I normally just pre-aim the top one here, so feel free to just do that. And then after this angle, you will pre-aim this one by the box. Yep. This is very common. Very, very common. People love this angle. And then after this one will probably be this one. I don't know how common this one will be in your games, but top nest here is another one. And then from here, top screens. And then after that is going to be top pipes somewhere here. Sometimes they play it fully tucked, where like I'm hiding here. So like when you go really wide, so keep going to the right. Yep, that's where you'll clear this.
Yeah.
So
okay.
If you want to go belt, and then from here you can knife out, and then grab the rope, and then just take the zip line into sight. And your gun is actually surprisingly accurate on the rope, by the way, if you stop moving. So you can actually like spray people on the rope.
Oh.
But it's not 100% accurate. I think it's the same as shift walk accuracy.
Okay.
But you can get kills doing that. So it's a bit cheese. But yeah, that's if you want to go belt. So I know I kind of just threw a lot at you today, but the main thing is just making sure that you're moving while you're shooting, of course. Having that crosshair placement will come over time, but that comes from anticipation and knowing what angle you will fight. So obviously we walked through a couple of parts of the map today that hopefully will help with the crosshair placement, at least on this map. And then the angle holding, just making sure you're ADing when you're angle holding. I think that will help a lot, just so you aren't getting insta-killed. You can, of course, like if you're on a really good off angle, you can just stand still. But for the sake of your learning for now, let's just try to AD anytime you're holding an angle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers the mechanics. We'll just have to, of course, train our drills over the course of this week and see where we are in a week's time.
Sounds good to me.
I guess any like initial questions or maybe any changes you wanted to make to your drills?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's fine by me. I'll keep tabs on the warm-ups or the drills and see if I have any feedback.
Okay. Perfect.
Alrighty, cool. In that case, maybe we wrap up there. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, of course. And yeah, we'll just reconvene next week. And yeah, keep in touch if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you as well. All right, I'm gonna hop out of here. Peace, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know if I'm out of the call or not. Or I'm out of this thing. Oh my gosh. How do we feel today? Chat? Let me turn my background music back on. You can't hear it, right? Oh, there we go. The cam suddenly stopped being choppy. It's because I have to use a virtual camera to do the stream together thing with Dopeye. So if I'm on my normal one, then we're good. Icebox is scary. I know, that's why I requested. Well, he asked if there was any specific map that we wanted to go over this week, and I was like, probably Icebox because it's new to the Act 2 comp pool, and then also, as you might have seen in either the VOD that we reviewed earlier or our testing custom, it's very confusing for me. And I'm still trying to drill into my head the concept of like the halves of the map, because I have a difficult time reading reading the map in the first place. But it's okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. And I don't know if you saw, here, let me grab it from this one. But in my oops. I don't know why it's so big. In my tracker, GG, I've been losing so many games been losing so many games. I think in my last 20 games, I've lost 17. That's not true. That can't be true. Let's look at my OPGG. Play the ace clip for the fans. You know what? I sent it to Dopai. He didn't say a word about it. Didn't say a word about it. I think it's kind of cheesy. We go to the full screen. I guess last 20 matches. Okay, 12. Wait, that's not right. Oh, that's unrated. Okay, comp. 20 matches, 12 losses, 7 wins. You gotta lose before you can start the real climb. That's what I'm saying. I remember when I was Iron 1, 0 RR. We'll get to gold. I have faith. I just need a lot more reps. I think that the stream today helped a lot. Here, I can play the ace clip if you're curious. I just need to find it first. Copy. Yeah, okay. Technically, it's a fake ace because their sage rezzed someone that I already killed, and then I killed them again. Instead of killing the final 5th person, someone else got that kill. Window capture, right? This one. Maybe I can... Oh, it's so loud. Hold on. This is the context. Actually, it's so funny. I wanted to add it into the clip. Kiro messaged me in-game and was like asking a question about Valorant. I guess there was a bug going on. Can we go to full video? And then was like, good luck, you got this.
And
then we prep, which we went over last week, my usual setup. I'm listening for the other team.
Over there.
They're over there.
No surprises.
Enemy spotted B.
Problem solved. You will not kill my allies. 3 down. 1 enemy remaining. They're done. Ultimate ready.
GG guys. Wow.
And then after that,
No peeking. Combat is a means to
immediately messaged Kiro. By the way, just aced. Because it was because of the good luck. I'm convinced about it. But I just thought that was really funny. Fake ace chat is Delulu. That Clove is a kill stealer. I actually don't understand. Sometimes my teammates will be like, no, let me ace, but then they go to take the kill and then they die. So I'm like, just let me help prepare in case I need to trade you out. The Valo chat was popping off. Yeah, we were debating on whether or not it was a real ace or not. How often do you watch other people play? For a while, I was watching like general, like I would just scroll through my Twitch following because I followed a bunch of random Valorant players. And I would just go through and just like stream drive-bys basically, and then hop out whenever I had no idea what was going on. I did try to watch some of the pro games, but with the way that they do the spectating, it's a little confusing to me to keep everything in mind. I do still watch a lot of Readlock because I'm a big Deadlock fan. You have to run in first and be the bait when your teammate is about to ace. True. If the game says ace, it's a real ace. That's what I said. I said if it says ace on OPGG, then it's an ace for me. Yeah, I love Deadlock too. You hate Valorant, so... Oh. I'm still in the custom game with Dopai. Let me leave. Let me leave. But yeah, that's all I had planned for the coaching stream today. I'll just do a lot of my Valorant homework for the rest of the week, and I have another meeting at 6 p.m. so in about 10-20 minutes. I just picked a Radiant and watched them because it helped me with callouts and map knowledge. I am literally starting from scratch. I feel like that would help me a lot, but if they're not referencing it or they're not explaining to me, then I get a little confused. Did I ever show my Notion, my Valorant Notion doc? When is France Daylight Savings? I think it's in a couple weeks. I think we're off a little, so I'll still be an hour difference later. Do you have a meeting with Valorant? I have a meeting with Ren. I think the problem is mostly you struggle with active learning when watching something. Well, I think that's normal. I have to apply it like right away. The 30th? Oh. Maybe? So maybe 3 weeks? Okay. Okay. I'll expose myself a little bit for this. Window capture with my Notion doc. I love Notion. Here, wait, let me mute. Valorant. This is how I'm keeping track of my VODs. This is basically Tracker GG, but then it also puts in notation what I title my VODs now, just so that it's easier for Dopeye to look at it at a glance and be like, oh, okay, this is the one that we reviewed today. We did the 14-14 draw, but I had a +6. Actually, I think my performance gave me a +5. I don't know what the 1 was for because it's a draw, but I don't really know how the RR system works. As you can see, I don't really care right now, or I shouldn't. But I put in everything manually and then it just calculates this. And then I do have this, I can't remember who I got it from. Let's see. I think it's from Dreamwell. I think it's this one. Yep, it is. So I have not been doing this, but just in case... Oh my god, why is this broken? Just in case I amended it a little, so these are empty, whereas they're filled in his. I can go over each round by myself. But the reason why I don't do this right now is because I have no idea what I'm looking for. So I was hoping that coaching could help me with that. But that's that basically, and then what else do I have? All the maps and all the agents. These are all the ones, well, I stopped updating this in February, but the agents that I had unlocked or that I was looking into unlocking. And then this is a warm-up that Dopeye sent me before we even got started, really, and it helped me. I feel like it helped me a lot just to like understand contextually what I should be aiming for in a warm-up session. Obviously we're not following this right now because Dopeye prescribes different things for different weeks based on the coaching and what we're focusing on. But if you're interested, it's been super helpful for me. I think I did showcase this before, which was when Woohoojin was coaching Tiffey and they had a whole schedule, so I was following this for a little while, just whenever. I wasn't super strict about it. I hate this game. I love this game. I love this game. These are our sessions so far, so I haven't filled out today's. Economy stuff, it's literally just a link to a video because I can't wrap my head around the economy. Right now, my thinking process with the economy is just to keep minimum next round at around 4,000, and I'm fine with that for now. These are some assumptions that I started writing down, but it's difficult to navigate if it gets really long, so I haven't been keeping up with this, and I don't even know if it's true. It's just like what people say, and I'm like, oh, okay, noted. Tell your coach to Demon 1 routine is better. We can try. But I trust in Coach Dopai for now. What else? Reading lists. These are just random things that I find from various content creators, Valorant content creators, and what else have I not looked into? This habit tracker I stole from someone, and I guess I didn't keep the original, or maybe they deleted it, but I have not been using it either, so it doesn't it doesn't matter. Oh, modified from original. Who is the original? Someone named Saber. Someone named Saber. But yeah, that's it. That's my Valorant Notion. I love Notion. I love Valorant. Valen would have been the best routine if you won Masters. Unfortunate. No, I think that actually I had a short conversation with Dopai, and he said that he was very excited that they got as far as they did, and then that warm-up routine video is probably going to spike in views because of it. It could be good to go back in your replays and watch what you did good and bad. The problem is that I don't know what I did good and bad, and if I get punished for something that I did good, then I'll immediately think it's bad. If I don't get punished for something that I did as bad, I'll think it's good. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe I need a coach to like tell me. So not focusing on self-reviewing VODs right now, focusing on whatever Dopai tells me to do. My one brain cell, listen to Dopai. That's it. That's it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go get ready for my meeting. Thank you so much for hanging out during the Valo coaching session. If you're interested in Cyberpunk, we're currently playing that, so you'll see that on, I think we're on episode 5 on Wednesday, and episode 6, wait, are we on episode 5 or 6? I don't remember. Anyway, Cyberpunk on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and Valorant coaching on Mondays. Glad I caught you for a few minutes. I know it's slightly different schedule for Monday, because normally we don't have the Monday streams. Okay, let's see who's online. Go say hello to someone. Whoa, why am I not logged in? Oh, I am. Never mind. Okay, we can go say hi to Sherd. I love Sherd. Okay, hope you're having a good morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope you have a good one. Sorry, I'm trying to find my exit. And I will see you later. Okay, bye, 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 bye.
Before I changed, started acting strange, had my life in my own hands. Meanwhile, I was wasting time, thinking things were fine, but you had other plans. Behind your weak disguise, all the worthless lies, it was wrong and now I know. Don't think that I won't try, this is not goodbye. life, I've been pushed around, always lost, not found, but I didn't realize. Like a giant standing in my way, leading me astray. Now it's time for me to rise. I knew I had to find myself. Turns out I'm on my